Hi, everybody. Welcome to Eating Pizza. My name is Timothy Connolly, and
And my name is Kato. No last name needed, just like Madonna. Call me Kato.
hi, Kato.
How you
And
doing, Tim?
doing good here, man. This is exciting. This is our pilot episode for the brand new
Yeah,
podcast called Eating Pizza. That's
eating
going to
pizza.
be,
Everybody loves pizza. And if you don't love eating pizza, after you watch this show, you're going to love eating pizza. If not, you're going to still love eating pizza. You know why, Tim?
tell us why, Kato.
I don't know, Tim. I just asked you why. Whatever.
Oh,
It's all good. You're looking very dapper today, by the way. Did I tell you that?
that was a trick question. I was not expecting that. Good job.
That's okay. There's going to be a lot of that on this show, and wait, just wait. The stuff that you're going to expect, you're never going to expect. It's like when you're in a if you're in a building with the elevator and it says you are here. I always say that. How does it know? That's all.
Ah, well, folks, remember, the less you expect things to happen, the more prepared you are for the unknown.
Yes, and there is an unknown right now happening. Eating pizza. What a great name. What a great start to it. This awesome, awesome show, Tim. I'm very excited.
Good. Well, I'm glad to see the excitement, and the excitement is mutual. I feel it, and hopefully the excitement is contagious out there in YouTube land.
Woo!
And we're going to start things off today with some pizza talk. Why not? Because the podcast is called Eating Pizza. And
Correct.
let's tell our viewers and listeners where we are. Cato is in Connecticut. I'm in
Right.
Nevada.
Right.
Um, both of us are from New York originally. It's where we
Correct.
met, it's where we grew up, etc., where we discovered our love for pizza.
Pizza.
And here in Las Vegas, where I live, it's not always so easy to find good pizza, but if you do know where to look, you can find it. There are some pizza places around here that really put in the extra effort to make their pizza pie taste, at least two times better than what you're going to get from a Sbarro chain place, and
Correct. And
at least three times better than Pizza Hut. Now, I don't
I
want to
hear you.
knock Pizza Hut because if I
We
had to
love
eat
Pizza
Pizza
Hut.
Hut, I
It's
would.
good. And the
But
salad's good too. But you know what? The basic thing, Tim, is like you said, we were from New York. We're not New York snobs, but the pizza in
we're
New
not.
York is
I guess we're
outstanding.
not.
And that's going to be our basis for all pizza talk for different countries, different states, different places to eat pizza. Because wherever you go, they're going to have pizza, and sometimes they'll have 10 pizza places, but sometimes people pick one for a specific reason.
That's true. And I wonder, I've had pizza in a bunch of different states in this country. I traveled a bit, and I'm going to guess you've had an opportunity to try
Oh yeah.
pizza in other states outside of New York.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Connecticut, of course, where you live these days, I'm sure that the pizza
Yep.
there is pretty good, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's okay.
It's okay. Okay.
I'm not going to
Um,
slam all the pizza places here, but there's a couple ones that we'll end up talking about, and I can tell you which ones I prefer and which ones that the pizza tastes like you put ketchup on it. And that's a no-no in the Italian land. You don't put the
no,
ketchup on a pizza.
you never put ketchup on pizza. In fact, the only thing I ever put ketchup on is hamburgers, French fries, and that's it. I've seen people put ketchup on the egg sandwiches in the morning, but I'm not into that. But
I've
ketchup
seen
for
people
me never goes anywhere near pizza. God
they
forbid.
put it on hot dogs here. I don't have
Uh,
ketchup
that's
on
not
hot
me. I
dogs.
need I need mustard on a hot dog. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's a whole different discussion. We'll
I know.
have that one day too.
I know, and we will. But for now, back to the pizza. And I want to ask you, in Connecticut, what is your favorite pizza place?
Okay. Right now, my favorite pizza place is Frank Pepe's. They make a great pizza that's out here. It's more of Italian pizza. It's they have these giant sticks that are probably about 20 feet long, and they stick it in the oven, and the oven is very deep. The pizza cooks almost immediately, and then they cut it in all different shapes. It's not like a regular shaping thing, and it's thin, and it's awesome.
Wait a
Oh,
minute.
oh.
Wait a minute. How far into this pizza oven are they putting the dough when it goes in?
It goes in about 15 feet.
15 feet. Holy smoke.
Yeah.
What do they call that? Is that some kind of
It's
special
just
pizza
it's just
oven?
a wood fired oven.
Okay.
They cook, they make the wood, and then they have like giant, like 15, 20 foot sticks, like a regular pizza thing
Yeah,
that they
right,
put
right.
in, but it's 20 feet long. It's incredible.
It's amazing. I'm trying to picture it and I'm having trouble.
Yeah,
And my imagination is pretty good, so go figure.
yeah,
Wow. And the pizza tastes, I guess it must taste good because it's your favorite Connecticut
yeah,
pizza
yeah.
place.
It's one of my
Um,
favorites out here. It's a different type pizza. It's a thin, like Napoleon pizza in Napolitan. So it's really good. And like I said, they don't cut it regular like places cut it in triangles. This is cut in all different shapes. And then you take the pizza and you eat it, whatever. You get a big slice, small slice, or a big piece of pizza. You wouldn't call it a slice, you call it pieces of pizza. You get it a piece of pizza. My Italian's coming out. You know what? Look at my hand. It's going like this. Oh, nice, nice.
it's so good to have that stuff around. I wish we had a pizza place here in Vegas that did that with the 20-foot long sticks.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, like I said, it's a different type of pizza. There are also, other standard pizza places here. But here's an interesting question that I know that people always ask this, but pizza's round usually, and they cut it in triangles, and they don't put it in a round box, they put it in a square box. So you got a square box, you got a round pizza, and you got triangles. Was
Hmm.
that a design from years and years ago? Points upon the viewer mail. Send us your answers. Triangle pizza, round pizza, square boxes. You go.
All right. Well, I think what Kato's getting at here is that the audience can be sending in your questions and comments and what have you. Send them in to us by email and write them to our program director, Sonny Calzone. He's in charge here at the Roundhouse Network. And you can go ahead and just send your emails to sonnycalzone@gmail.com. Just remember to put eating pizza in the subject line so there'll be know that it's
Wow.
a question or a comment for this particular podcast.
Yes, we
Okay.
love the view. We love the viewer, man. Tim,
Yeah,
three, four, six emails just popped up. This
you're
people, how
kidding.
did they know that we're on already?
Go yank someone else's chain, pal.
I'm telling you, man. Out of all the things I saw today, this is definitely one of them, and I think I mean that.
Well, let me take a look here and see. Uh,
Seven,
oh, son of a gun,
eight.
you're right. All right, that's cool. Well, I'll tell you what,
Woohoo!
we'll do some responses to the viewer mail a little bit later in the episode. That's cool. Keep it coming,
Yeah,
folks.
Tim, this is working. Look at this. You know what? Hey, everybody out there. Thank you so much so far. I can't wait to read your mail and speak to you, maybe. And we're going to have some fun. Why not? Cool, Tim.
All right, very nice, very nice. And oh, I see. All right, very good. I'm gonna I'm gonna pull one of these. And you pull one too, and we'll have some fun with that a little bit later in the show. Now,
Oh, yeah,
moving
yeah.
on
Oh,
to
yeah.
our
I got
well,
one. Yeah, cool. I got that one. That's good. That's good.
good. And now it's time for
I'm having
the
a drink
view.
pause.
It's time for the view from the room. Are you ready for the view from the room?
You know what? Here I am, and there I go. Yes, I'm ready. The view
Okay,
from the room.
this is the view from the room. Now, I think Cato wanted to take a little stroll down memory lane together with me and talk about how he and I first met. This is a nice little idea for a human interest piece for the audience out there and for the listeners and the viewers. Get to know your hosts a little better, how we
Yeah,
got to
it
know
is a
one another.
pilot
Why not?
show, Tim.
It's all
Come
harmless,
on.
right? So, Cato, tell our folks out there in YouTube land how we met.
Well, you see, being that I'm older, but not that old, but old enough, my memory is not always that sharp like attack. But I must say that we met Tim through a band experience. I used to play in a band called Soul Shake, and Tim came to a show, and he was doing interviews back then, and he said he wanted to interview the band. This is what I remember. I'm sure there's more to it, but he came down and we were doing a DVD, and he came down with a friend, and he interviewed the band at a rehearsal space in Freeport at Long Island. And we had a really cool rehearsal space in the back of this long driveway. It was really cool, set up cool. And then we proceeded to do an interview. And Tim, take over a little bit, and I'll interject as we're talking.
Well, I have a really cool memory about that rehearsal studio space. It was almost like a single story garage, but
Correct. Yep.
but it was a big garage. It was the kind you could easily fit 3 or 4 cars into.
Yep.
And Kato had his drum kit all set up on a nice little riser inside the studio space.
Yep.
And Ray and Warren, Chris and Joe, they had all their gear. And there was plenty of
We,
space for me and Tommy to hang out. Tommy Pottymouth was there hanging out with me at the time.
oh, funny guy. Funny
Oh,
guy.
he's the best. And he was along for me. He was along with me for the ride that day. And you guys were all practicing and rehearsing some music. You had a show
Yep.
coming up. There was
Yep.
always another show coming up for you guys in those days.
Always.
And so you were in a constant state of setting time aside for rehearsal to keep yourself sharp.
Right.
And you
Yep.
guys were doing a bunch of classic rock music that night when I was there
Yep.
at the studio.
Yep. For sure.
And one of the songs that you were doing was a song by Kansas. And I don't remember if it was Carry On a Wayward Son, or if it was Dust in the Wind, or if it
No,
was
I think it was Carry On, and also
okay.
we did original music as well. So we
And
were
yeah,
doing
and you
original
guys
and
did
country.
you did some original stuff. I remember that
Yeah.
too. I had so much fun interviewing you guys, and there was some video footage of us, I think, also, in addition to just audio, or it might have just been audio.
No, it was video. We did a lot of we did a lot of video, and we ended up putting it on our DVD as like the background, the bloopers, and
That's right. Yep,
fun stuff. Yeah, it was really fun.
that
I
was
don't.
a good
You could probably
time.
yeah, you could probably go online and find it. Uh,
Maybe
well,
I'd
we'll
be a
talk
little
about that.
hesitant to look at that, but
Yeah, it was funny, man.
I
It
would
was
look at it though,
really
I think.
Yeah, it was funny. And I do have the DVD. And yeah, we ended up doing it at this club called the Downtown. And it was a great DVD for us at that point. And yeah, the band did very well back in the day. Of
I
course,
remember
like all
Radio Check
bands.
was at that show.
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah, we did a lot of
Leslie.
show. Yeah, we did a lot of shows for the radio station. We were WNEW's house band,
Hmm.
and they got us a lot of play. We played in front of thousands and thousands of people, and aired in front of hundreds of thousands of people. So it was really good for us. And at that time, it was a lot of fun. And as a local band, we did very well, Tim, as you
Well, I
know.
can imagine you did, but I have a big question, and I'm glad that the band had as much success as it did. What was the secret? I guess enough time has passed now where you can share this if you even know the answer, but what was the secret to Soul, I'm sorry, the secret to Soul Shake becoming the radio darlings, as it were, for WNEW?
Well, they used to have jingles in the morning, and we did a jingle and we sent it in, and they loved it there. And they go,
How
"We
did
got
that
to do
jingle
more."
go? Do you remember? Sing us a few
Uh,
bars.
I don't remember, but it probably has something to do with pizza. I love pizza. You love pizza. Why don't you have pizza too? Hey,
Well,
that it
now
wasn't
there's a
it, but if
jingle
it
I could
was,
hang my hat on.
that would be a good jingle because I
I
love
agree.
eating pizza. It's part of the show.
I agree. So there you are, folks. That's how Kato and I first met, thanks to music, live music.
Yeah, yeah,
I
and
owe
we'll get
music
in.
a big debt of gratitude for having introduced
Yeah,
me to so many cool folks over the years, such as
yes,
Kato, who is one of the
yeah.
coolest dudes I ever met. And I love this guy. I'm
Thank
so
you, man.
glad to be
You
doing a
too,
podcast
Tim.
with this guy.
You know what? In later episodes, you'll find out more about us. We've done a lot of projects together, and we'll talk about segments of that. And if you're interested, you can see some of the YouTube videos that we did. Tim is extremely extremely talented, and you're gonna find that out. And we're gonna have a lot of fun with the show. You just keep on tuning in.
Wow.
More emails popping up, Tim. This is ridiculous. The first
Avert
time.
your eyes, avert your eyes.
I'm coming. Come on. What do I
Oh
have to
boy.
say? What do I have
Well,
to say?
as Kato mentioned, yes, he and I did enjoy numerous projects throughout the years. And if you're interested, you'll enjoy it on our show. If you're not interested, you can always hit the fast forward button. Okay, now moving on to our next segment, since we got to keep things rolling, we're going to go
Yep,
into a
keep it
segment
rolling.
called
Rolling.
It's Time for the Ones That Got Away. Now, this is going
Woo!
to be our segment where we talk about old classic albums of ours that we love. Could be rock, could be soul, could be anything. This is looking back now at albums that we haven't listened to in a long time from start to finish. And I'm going to open up by saying the Keith Richards Talk is Cheap album from the late 1980s. My guess is it came out in 1988. This was at a
Wow.
time when Keith and Mick weren't getting along so well. So both of them were both doing their own solo records in the
Mm-hmm.
1980s. And it's strange to think about nowadays because all we've known for a long time at this point is just the Rolling Stones, the
The
Rolling
Stones.
Stones.
Stones. Yeah.
They never do anything solo ever now, but they used to in the 1980s. And some of that music wasn't so bad. I didn't care much for the Mick Jagger solo records, but the Keith Richards solo album, Talk is Cheap, was absolutely fantastic. And
He was a great songwriter in his own. Obviously, the Stones songs and everything, the popularity and the millions and millions and millions of albums sold. You got to be doing something right,
oh,
and this
yeah,
guy
and he
will last
was.
forever, right?
Yep,
He's lasting forever.
he was
So
great.
fine.
He For that record on drums, he got Steve Jordan, this very
Woo.
same Steve Jordan from the Blues Brothers and
Yeah.
from Eric Clapton's band. I mean, this guy has just been out there in the industry forever as one of the great drummers, and the drumming
Yeah.
really shines on this record.
Oh yeah.
So that's one that got away from me. It's been decades now since I last listened to Talk is Cheap by Keith
Wow.
Richards. I
Wow.
gotta remedy that. And
I
so
hear
for
you.
you, my friend,
I think we're going to talk about Peter Frampton Comes Alive. If you guys don't
okay.
have that in your repertoire, you need to have it. I haven't listened to it for a while, but when I did listen to it on record, man, that needle was on fire on that record because I listened to it over and over and over again. And then, of course, I had it on 8 track. Yeah, I'm kind of old. 8 track, jeez. People, the younger people, what's an 8 track? Yeah, whatever. Then cassette, cassette. What's a cassette? Then mini CD. I can go down the list of all these things, but that is an amazing live album. Peter Frampton was in Humble Pie and a lot of great bands, and him working. He still plays today, and my only regret that I haven't listened to it in a while, and being in a cover band, we haven't played um, any Peter Frampton yet, but my band, give a plug, notsorryband.com. We're a classic rock band and we're awesome and we play the best of the best. And if you guys get a chance out there, viewers, notsorryband.com, check it out because we're always around. And if you're in the Connecticut area or New York or New Jersey, please check us out. I know that was a sidetrack, but you know what? It has to do with us playing music that we wouldn't play before and the ones that got away. So we're going to try to get them to come back and not get away, get them in the rotation. What do you think, Tim?
I think that's a great idea. I've been
Yeah.
I haven't listened to a Frampton album from start to finish in a long time. And I owe it to myself to do that. One
Yeah.
thing I've always wondered about the Frampton Comes Alive record is that some folks have said to me, oh, the crowd noise you hear on the record, that's not really real. They added that in post-production. And I wonder how true that really is, because if that was the case, okay, fine, whatever. But if that wasn't the case, why would people think that that was the case? What do you think about that?
I think that, yes, uh, learning today, a lot of albums, like the Kiss Alive album, was alive, but it was remixed in the studio for sound quality to make it better. So people, when they were listening, you could hear the full effect of the concert. Obviously, where the mics are set or recording or whatever, things like that, it's hard to get a great live recording and have everything in the right position. crowds have to have a separate miking system. The stage sounds and everything are different. So it's the mix of that. I mean, sometimes in the Ron Delsner days, oh, these are old, in concert days, they had to do things with these mobile studios on the fly, and they were really good at it. So they got great sounds. I mean, but
Yeah,
music post production, it's a thing. It happens.
I
What are
know,
you
and
gonna
it's
do?
okay. It's all part of the
Yeah,
art. And you can't really have one without the other. You're right.
this
It
is
takes
this is
a lot
true.
of effort to capture the sound of a crowd and to mix it in with the actual recording of the band performing live. And the 1970s was such a great decade for live
Oh,
concert albums. I mean, my
yeah,
God, you go right down the list.
yeah.
Even into the early 1980s, we were still getting a lot of that. But here's a fun thing about Peter Frampton. You mentioned Humble Pie. Before he was in Humble Pie, he was also in a band called The Herd. And that goes
Oh,
back to like 1965. I think he was only
I
about
haven't
18
heard
years
of
old.
that, Tim.
You haven't
Haven't
heard that?
heard of that, Tim.
Oh, you haven't HERD of that? Oh, okay.
No, Tim.
Well,
That
I
was a
think that's
segue. That was a segue to move on to the next subject. Heard.
anytime Cato drops a big pun on us, that means it's time to move on to the next segment. And I get it.
Segment.
Okay.
It's
Well,
okay. We'll get back to listen. You watch our show. We're going to talk plenty about music. We got so much stuff to talk about. And like I say, when the viewer mails and they just keep on coming, it's amazing. I'm very excited about this. But yeah, I'm having a good time. You having a good time, Tim?
I am having a fantastic time and I'm ready to look at some viewer mail. So let's take a look. Are you
Oh
ready?
yeah. Let me see. Hold on.
All right. Why don't you pull out a letter first and then I'll pull one out after you.
Hold on. Let me see what this one. All right. Oregon. Okay. All right. Some of them that this is. I'm going to take this one. This is a silly one, but this is from Jack Bennett from Oregon. Or could Willy Wonka run a regular factory? Really, Jack? Okay. So my opinion is, why not?
Well,
Chocolate, strawberries. What do you want to run a Ford? You want to run a music factory? Let's say a music factory because we love music. Could he? Music, chocolate, music to my ears. I think so. What do you think, Tim?
I think he's quite capable of handling just about any managerial or entrepreneurial tasks that go hand in hand with running a factory. Now,
But wait a
uh,
minute. Wait a minute. But having all those Oompa Loompas, it's got to be easy, right? You got all these little guys helping you, and with that, you could probably do anything. They look very crafty, right?
I'd rather it was little Katos instead of little Oompa Loompas, but we'll take what we
Listen,
can
they've
get.
been getting a lot of stuff done. I do a lot of stuff. Look, I have a pen. I do a lot of stuff with the pen. I can write things down, and I still don't remember what I'm talking about. Here I am. Where am I? There you go.
Well, okay. Wow. Thank you, Jack from Oregon, for writing in
Yeah,
that letter to us. You certainly came to the right folks if you were looking for expertise on the topic of Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka, Chocolate Factory. Love chocolate.
I do. Well, I do love chocolate. And interestingly enough, someone recently told me that white chocolate, by the way, is not real chocolate. I said to them, well, how can that be? I mean, this is something that's been marketed as chocolate for all this,
Yeah.
and no one's going to call them out on it if it's not real chocolate. I don't understand that. Can you straighten this out for me, Cato? Is white
Yes, I
chocolate
think
real
white
chocolate or
chocolate
not?
has a chocolate flavor, and it has to have some kind of chocolate in it. So I have to debunk that. I think it is chocolate. It just doesn't have maybe. Uh, I don't know what I'm talking about right now, but I love pizza. That's all I have to say, Tim.
Okay. Well, on that note, maybe I should take my question with regards to chocolate over to the chocolate podcast. But since this is the eating pizza podcast,
Yes.
time now to take another look at one of these letters that just arrived by email. Let's see. We've got another interesting one here. Let's take a look at, well, there's a bunch of interesting ones. Here's one. This
Okay.
letter says, why does Cato suck at fishing? And now this letter comes from Dominic Sturgeon of Toms River, New Jersey. Hi to New Jersey. Now, why does Kato suck at fishing? Kato, why
Well,
do you suck at fishing?
well, guess what? I really don't suck at fishing. I'm actually pretty good at fishing, and I have proof. If I could, you know what? I was caught off guard here, but I have proof that I've caught some pretty big fish in my day. But you know what? I have to say, I have 5 kids. Okay, I know that's a fun fact that you guys didn't know, but with I can't look it up right now. But if I look it up, my son has taken the throne. My son Mason is a fisherman. That kid, he's just amazing at fishing. And up in Connecticut, there's a lot of places to fish. We catch a lot of bass, trout, all kinds of fish. And then there's saltwater too. We go fishing. I'm really good at saltwater. I catch sharks and bluefish and blackfish, all these cool fish. But I don't suck at fishing per se. But you know what? I don't call it fishing. I call it catching because that's what I do. Look at my finger. That's what I do. Catching.
Well,
So there
that's
you
right.
go, debunked.
You heard it here, folks. So all you fish out there, you better watch out because Kato's coming for you. And he's not going to go fishing for you. He's going to catch you.
Yeah, I'm a catcher, and I catch fish. I don't like whatever. I
The
wish I could
catcher in
have.
the rye.
I wish I had a picture I could show you, but yeah, but I'll have to prove it.
The catcher is this guy.
Yeah, I'll have to prove it. That's all. We'll
That's
have to
all.
get back. Who sent that in?
Well, we'll see what we can do about proving that at some point. But for now, I want to say thank you to all the folks out there in YouTube land for checking us out during this pilot
Woo!
episode of Eating Pizza. And we will see you here next time. So long, Kato.
Wait a minute. Before you go, I have to say one thing. Okay. Sometimes you think you know where you are, but you're not where you are. You might be someplace else. If your friends are someplace else and you're someplace else, you're not in the same place together. So you must remember the points that I'm trying to give you. Like Tim, me and Tim went to different schools together, okay? But you know what? We had a good time anyway. So there you go. And all of you out there, keep on watching our show. Keep on sending email. I'm pointing my finger. I shouldn't do that. But we miss you already. Tim, you still look dapper after the show. We miss you guys. We'll see you soon. Eating pizza. What do you say, brother?
Eating pizza. Adios, amigos.
Adios, amigos.